And we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. This is Productivity and Procrastination. I'm Joe.
And I'm James.
We're just a
Why do
couple
you
of
say productivity instead of productivity?
regional dialect.
Are you not from this region?
I'm from southern Idaho.
Really?
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought it would be any different than here.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, do you say, I say it's a product, right? How do you say it?
Well, I say it productivity. I don't know why. I mean, I don't really
Do you
know the
call it
root
things
word.
like, if I'm making something, am I making a product or am I making a product?
Yeah. Well, I'm very pro.
The activities.
Yeah, just pumping out that activity.
Yeah, those ductivities. Those dang ducks. Dang duck activities.
Yeah, it's weird. One, I have this echo in my helmet here. It's weird talking and hearing yourself
Oh yeah, I
half
hate
a
that.
second later.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
That's weird.
So I'm going to have some very unusual pausing.
Do you want to take a quick break and see if we can get that fixed?
I don't know.
Do
What do
you
you
like
feel
it?
like doing?
Do you like hearing your own voice?
No.
Then let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do a pause here. And we are resumed. We have determined the issue of the problem, of the conundrum of the issue we were having, which was
How
Discord
to
added a
speak
new feature.
words. Apparently, I really stink at reading or something. I don't know. Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
that too.
it was a Discord problem, not a you problem.
I know. I was talking about productivity.
Oh,
Apparently, I've connected the words so much that I leached in the procrastination side. They've
uh,
merged, Joe. They're one thing now.
that's funny. Yeah, it's productivity and procrastination. I never thought about that until you mispronounced it.
Yeah, I guess. They were
Or
so akin to each other that they they became together.
together.
So, what episode is this?
Episode 3?
Season 2,
Season
episode
2, episode
3.
3. And we jamming.
Well, how's life been in the productive side? We did something on Tuesday. Was that right?
Yeah. We did a stream, and how
We had
productive
some
have you...
notes written down.
Did we? That's good.
Oh, I thought you wrote down something
I thought I
that we
did
talked
too,
about on
maybe?
Tuesday. To talk about.
That was the last time. That was the last time I said working together versus alone.
Oh. Well, I thought. Anyway, how did you feel about Tuesday?
Tuesday was
We worked.
incredible. I got so much done. I always
I
make the
did
best
too.
pieces on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I'm really liking the work environment.
Yeah, the work night.
I
I'm like
switched.
trying to trying to figure out how to do it, more often.
Yeah, it's the doing it alone thing. Maybe we need to discuss that. But
Yeah, okay. Walk me through how your alone time was this week on getting stuff done.
all that time. Let me see. You know what that turned into? That turned into me figuring out on my own how to get Twitch up so that I can stream.
Mm-hmm.
And so I played some 7 Days to Die and some Dinkum on Twitch.
On stream? Why didn't you tell me? I would have watched.
I didn't know if you cared, so...
Of course I cared.
Nobody watched me. I mean, nobody in the planet
the hard
watched
time
me.
with those games is like, unless you get lucky, you have to advertise yourself.
Yeah, that's what I figured it must have been. But I figured, I just wanted to practice because I wanted to stream Pal World when it comes out.
4 days.
Yes, so I'm excited about that. So that's basically all I really did was get streaming on, figure that out, and play a lot of Dinkum with my family.
Nice.
We've been really enjoying that, and been fun. I did think about doing things though, and it all was stemmed around how to reproduce what I was doing on the stream. So I did think about doing things. That's about far as I got.
Hold on. So, wait. So your entire thought process is how do I keep that momentum that I get from the stream?
Right.
Our Tuesday night streams.
Exactly.
Yeah. Gosh. It's mind-boggling how much easier it is to do it when there's someone there, and especially when there's that accountability. Okay. I did fine this week. I did fine. I did my daily drawing, and I posted it 6 of the 7 days.
Nice.
But a lot of the nights it's been I do a drawing specifically just because I have to, and I put it up. And that's not where I want to be. I want to be putting up a drawing because, it's the best one of the day. And I said that last week too, but it's still something I want to be working towards, and I'm trying to find how to get there. And maybe, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can work a daily stream into my life, because gosh, I'm so productive during those.
Yeah, it would have to be a spontaneous, and it would have to be probably shorter.
Yeah.
Because usually when we're doing that, it's almost 2 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
We're but I hear you. It's a different kind of feeling, that's for sure. You're kind of put on the spot. Obviously the spotlight is on us because we're recording us in real time doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's do stuff, make it happen, and there is no avoiding it. You're just doing it.
Yeah, no, it's not even a question for me.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Just oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. It's
Yeah.
how I want my every day to be.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's exactly how it is for people that actually do things. But not for me. I thought about it. I thought, I'm just going to do that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come in here and just work. That didn't happen, though. So...
What got in your way?
I just didn't feel like working. I'm full blown in the I need to find a job phase, so I'm just throwing out applications and thinking about working, and then not thinking about wanting a break from thinking about working, and
Oh
so
no. Oh
that's
no,
what I'm
you're in it
doing.
deep.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'll have a job soon. I'm already have interviews and things, so won't be long now. I mean, somebody's got to need somebody who's always available and willing to do anything. I'm just, how much more do I have to beg on my apps? Please, I'll mop vomit. I don't care. All right, so that's like what I'm trying to be. Is the us version of when we're working on any time. Commandable on the spot. How do we
Yeah.
do that, Joe? Are you?
Let's break
I
it
mean, yeah. Please break it down.
let's break it down. So, realistically, all we're doing is clicking a button that says start recording,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're setting up our stuff,
Mm-hmm.
playing the music, and then
Mm-hmm.
beginning.
Right.
Like, realistically, the only thing that actually changes, like, for us, at least as so far, is we're putting on music.
Well, and the extra variable of at any moment we have each other to speak to. So
True.
like as we're feeling the groove, there's this sense of I can just enjoy right now, and I can talk to somebody about how I'm enjoying it for like a sentence or two, and then I can just go back in. You know, it's like this perfect inner connectivity with the get it done group that I don't know, it's like that's like the icing on the cake, but at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of nice to have like some kind of possibility to just relay how you're enjoying working to someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters though.
I think it does. I think this with like somebody else in the room or the expectation that you guys are getting together to work, it's easier to just sit down and work. Which sucks because I'd like to be able to do it by myself on command like that. But I don't think I can. Not yet, at least.
Well, I think that's something that I've got to test. I mean, it sounds like all the variables should be easy to just reproduce. But is it?
It's like the draw of other people get in my way or other things I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, the sense of urgency disappears.
Yeah, when it's just on yourself.
Mm-hmm. You're like, well, I got all these things I want to do. I gotta do, right?
Yeah.
You end up napping.
Yeah. Or playing video games for
Yes.
6 hours.
Yes. Yeah. I think I streamed 7 Days to Die Alone I did at least one 5-hour stint, I think.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ooh, you should have recorded it and you could put it up on our procrastination.
I don't know if it's any good.
That's
I'm
okay.
not dead, though. Yeah.
It's not about being good, it's about being us. That's what this channel is.
Someday maybe the two will converge and we'll both be us and good at the same time.
I mean, we're good at things. We're consistent at putting up these episodes.
Yeah, that is
We're
true.
good at that.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why not. Like today, I went to an appointment. I had to go places.
Yep.
And yeah, I accidentally I forgot that those things were happening at the exact same time as our stream, so I pushed it off.
Yeah, it's okay. We got it recorded.
And look how malleable we are, like gold, Joe. If only
Or
we
silly
could
putty.
or silly putty. Yes. Great. You know, here I was like, oh yes.
Like gold.
Here we are, like gold. How do we shape and fashion productivity? You know that word sounds weird when I say it. That productivity side.
Silly putty though.
Silly
Slap
buddy.
ourselves onto work. Just
or onto comic strips and
yeah.
them right off. Silly putty's some really interesting stuff.
Very useful in weird ways. Like we are.
Useful. Yes, that is a good word. I would love to be associated with.
So a thing happened.
What thing happened?
I was
Dun,
over at a
dun,
friend's
dun.
house. Dun dun dun.
With humans.
Yeah. We were doing a D&D night.
In person.
In person.
What was that like?
It's fun. I do a lot of in-person D&D and board games and stuff.
Oh, okay. And what
Anyways.
did this happen?
It happened Saturday night, just after work.
Okay.
And anyways, we went over there. We had fun, whatever. And then my friend was talking about, he's working on his tech certification to get into IT and stuff. And I was like, I don't really want to do like anything technical like that. Like I'd love to learn to code and like get a coding job because I think I'd be good at coding. I know I'm good at coding. I really enjoy coding. But the issue is it requires a degree and whatever, and so I don't have that. Or it requires like you to make stuff. I'm not exactly sure the exact requirements, but I was like, I'd rather do work on my art stuff. And he's like, okay, yeah, like what are you gonna do with it? And I did not know.
That's a thing.
Yeah. I was like, I'm working on getting better, but for what, to what extent, for what purpose? I do it mostly because I just enjoy getting better at it and I like to see the progress, but
Yeah, I mean that's the hard question. You said this year you wanted to get some kind of products up that you can potentially sell, but
yeah.
you never thought about what that was actually going to be, or
I do have an idea for an art piece that I do want to sell there, like a actual like physical painting, but that would require me to get better at painting first, which means I would have to practice painting.
well, that seems like the harder route then
Yes.
or root. I don't even know anymore if my words mean anything.
I think you can use
But
both.
anyway, you've been doing digital art for so long. The step from that to printing it is much easier than translating that through paint.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's a fair point. There's something iconic, I think is the term I want to use, about a physical painting that you're selling, and there only being one of it.
You know, I can agree to that. However,
Yeah.
there is a lot of first of all, you gotta have a product people want, right?
Mhm.
And
Well,
then
the vision in my head, people are gonna want this.
okay. So then there's the can I make that aspect, which
That's
you
the
already
hard part.
kind of said you probably can't yet.
Nope, definitely not.
Then there's the actual physical aspect of it. You can't do that while you're working. You've struggled with that in the past.
Yeah.
And the cleanup and all those things seem like they produce barriers. How many times have you actually ripped open paints to enjoy painting just to do it?
Oh, I haven't.
You
in a
count them
long
on
time.
one hand?
Yeah.
Okay. So probably, I mean, and this is the just logical way of looking at it. It's not the, in the zone way of looking at it. But one would say digitally create the piece, find a method of printing up something and get it physical. People are willing to pay for that to a certain amount. Painting it in real life and having one of something, that's a premium product.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Yeah. So you'd have to charge a premium price. Is that even the location to sell that type of a thing? Is it even... I mean, I would say be able to do it digitally first and get a print up, and then if you have that product in a painting form by some stretch of the imagination that you do all the work and you get all the skill and you all that, then you would have to price it accordingly. And it's definitely many more steps down the line than just getting a digital product, printing it up, and having those things, And a lot of the times people buy the name or the person that they know. They're not necessarily buying the quality of the art. I mean, we've all seen the modern art era, Some of it just looks like a child threw paint onto a canvas.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big fan of that type of art where it's not tangible. I need to go to art school so I can describe art better. But it doesn't feel tangible. It doesn't feel coherent.
To me, art... Yes, I understand the whole emotion of it and all these things, and maybe the color theory has something to do with it. All that crap aside, if I was on a game show and I had to tell you out of what 10 photos or 10 pictures was produced by an elephant picking up a paintbrush and slapping some colors on versus a real professional person, and if I couldn't do that effectively, it's probably to me not really art. Okay? I mean, did a 5-year-old do this, or, a professional 20 years in the business? Yeah. Some of that stuff it's hard to tell. So I don't like that. I want to think that if I would ever have something in my house hanging up, that it has to at least look like there's something special to it,
Yeah.
I don't know.
There has to be a certain level of like for it. At least for me. I won't hang anything that I don't think is cool.
Right.
I won't hang it because so and so drew it and whatever. It has to look cool. There's definitely a certain level of leniency that I'll have if it's a family member who made it, but it still has to look cool.
I mean, if somebody gave me, Picasso or something, there's certain names that, yeah, I would too. But
well, it depends if it's his because Picasso did a lot of realism, and I would probably hang something like that.
Yeah.
But if it's his more stuff he's known for, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I would sell it no matter what.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably.
But I mean,
I don't have the privilege to own this. More than likely, just someone would break into my house and steal it, and I'd be like, SOL.
But I mean, some things are just known. The name means something, and that's why. But regardless. Anyway, let's go back to you.
Yeah.
Picasso. You should probably. I mean, it's the more boring route. Sure, it's the logical approach is sometimes the best, but it doesn't have to be the approach. Yeah, bust out your paints. Do it on Tuesday. I mean, I don't know. See what you can do. But your friend's question still stands. What are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Yeah, it caught me off guard, and I was stammering holy shit, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with this.
Yeah, it's oh yeah, I want to write. Okay, well, what are you going to write? It's sooner or later you gotta ask yourself, what are you actually going to produce to make money?
Yeah.
And I have to say, okay, well, this is my plan in my head. I have to have that plan. This is the first thing I'm going to put out. It may not make money. It's not necessarily for money. Second one, maybe. The first novel, maybe. I don't know. But there is, in my mind, I do have a plan of what I want to put out and why. And I like a lot of sketch stuff. Personally, I would put a really cool sketch on a wall because I just like that look.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something about looking at Leonardo da Vinci's stuff or something that just makes me like that. But it doesn't mean you need a finished product with the line art and with all the values perfectly rendered, to use that magical word, and everything perfect and everything filled in. It doesn't necessarily mean that has to exist for someone to purchase a digital, not a digital, but a print up of something. So, I mean, I think when a piece is worth buying, it's it's got that it factor of, is there something about it? Like, remember the other day when you were that the lady that I called the Coca-Cola lady looked like she
Oh
belonged
yeah.
in some kind of Coca-Cola commercial or ad or poster or something. Something like that is not necessarily, all these double negatives I'm using, but I mean, you may be able to print up something like that and sell it. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be colored and all these things. Just the sketch might be enough because it has some kind of, it factor about it. That somebody could go, yeah, I could put that here in my life and see it, and it makes sense in this environment. Whether or not it's blown up all weird in some hairstylist place, or whether it's somebody has a spot for something everywhere, and that's the great thing about, if you're going to sell something, being online and things. I mean, it would be much harder to sell a painting at a local environment, to find that person walking by and going, oh yeah, that would look perfect in my exact spot that I'm thinking of. Because obviously online you have the majority of the world able to just see it. So all that rambling just basically says, don't necessarily think you got to have like the best product in the world that you define as this is what only everybody wants or needs to sell. Does it do something to someone? And that's where maybe it even isn't even you're the best person to decide that. Maybe it's like, that's where online is better. Like if you have a community of artists or something that you're uploading those pictures to, someone goes, if you got one that's like tons of people like, well, maybe there's something about that you don't understand. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to throw out just thoughts. I don't know if there's some kind of weird artistic website that you can upload random things to, and people can just be like, well, I'd buy that, and let the bidding begin. I don't know.
You can sell print on ArtStation as far as I know.
Is it like also a forum at the same time, and people...
No.
Okay, well, that site may or may not exist, but hey, someone who makes it, let us know. At least join it. But
yeah, so there's a lot of thinking I need to do. Originally, I got into art, and sorry to make this all about me.
It's exactly about you.
I know.
Go for it.
I will. So originally, when I got into actual illustrations, there was 2 reasons I wanted to get into illustrations. First, I was jealous. Because I could only do pixel art, and I wanted to be able to draw physically. And one of my little humans could draw physically, and I was jealous of that, so I decided I would learn to draw. And I still need to make that video showing my progress from day 1 to now, so that when people say I just don't have artistic talent, I can show them that video.
Well, you know what I will be expecting to see. Take a guess. What is the one picture I would want to see your progress now?
Gorgon?
Yes. Let's see your new Gorgon, which, what would that be today versus your first one, you know?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You always said that was the picture that
Yeah.
it would
It's a good one.
there's a lot of facets to what you could do with that. But
Yeah. But yeah, so I originally got into it because I was jealous and because I wanted to make illustrations that teleported people into the world, even for a brief moment. Like, I want you to look at an illustration and want you to like wonder like what it's like to live there, and like have you look around the thing and be like, oh, look at that. That's for, that's the merchant's Abbot Atticus that he's using to count up how much gold you owe him, or something like that. Like anything that's really gonna teleport you in there. Those fine details, those minute things.
yeah, that kind of fantasy, I really appreciate those types of little things, and I like just that way of you describing it. Those are the types of things I would like to have on my wallpaper, on my computer, and hanging up if I actually hung things up. Yeah, because they transport us to something else and put us in some kind of different mood, and they're great. I love seeing stuff like that. So, have you ever tried to do a piece like that?
It's so since I've started, it's always been about technical skill and not creating what I want to create. Because I haven't felt like I've ever been in a position where I have this skill that I want. So I've never let myself do a piece purely from a creative standpoint versus a technical skill standpoint. Like, I never approached it as I want to make this piece because it's always I'm going to make this piece and try my best to make it look good. There's a subtle distinction there, but I think the reason I make the piece super duper matters.
You ever part of an art class or anything? Ever?
No. I never took art class because I didn't have enough electives for it because I moved around too much. I don't even know if I would have wanted to have taken an art class.
I have like some art that I kept from like art classes. They're probably in a box. But I think some of those pieces were things I actually wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And though I didn't have the skills, I enjoyed the pieces, and so I kept them.
Yeah, because I don't
maybe
want to keep anything I've made.
Maybe if we pause it, I could go and find them, and I could show you.
Let me pause it.
Some of these.
One.
Well, we're back. All right, so I couldn't find them. This is much deeper in my boxes than I must have assumed. They're somewhere. When I will think about cleaning my garage at some point in my life, and I'll show you. However, I just wanted to convey the fact that I kept them because I just liked the concept that I drew. And I feel like, I know you've been working on the technical side so much, and people appreciate that, but there comes a certain time when you've got to actually just do what you can right now to try to get that feeling that an artist can have about the pieces they want to actually create. And I think that I just want to say, don't be so judgy on yourself, and instead just be like, okay, this is where I'm at right now. I want to just create a snapshot of something that probably is not, maybe don't pick something that would be like, take all the range of an artist possible to obtain, but maybe there's some kind of a scene like Counting Gold or whatever that you can think of that might look good, and maybe even decide, I want to do a sketch form of this only. This is the color I want, or decide exactly where in the situation. And who knows? Maybe you can even start with hey, I want to make this sketch to potentially sell as a thing and something that I enjoy, and then from that, I can use that sketch as a baseline for painting it later on. That could be the thing I start with when there might be a methodical way of doing it where you could be furthering another product or another phase by just doing that. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. No, makes a lot of sense. It might be worth something that's really lacking, honestly, from my stuff is those longer pieces, like portfolio pieces, illustrations, things that really got me wanting to make art in the first place. I do need to start doing some more of those. And so, yeah, I think it would be good. I think I'm going to do a Gorgon piece. Because I do want to do a snapshot of where I'm at. It's been having a lot of growth. And I want to see where I'm at. And then continue growing, and then, check in again. I'm going to do a timeline of all 3 Gorgons. This would be the 3rd one.
Nice. Yeah, the question is good to be asked. Because sometimes when you're put on the spot, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I have
no idea. I can't see it as just the way I want to see it, with all my emotions and all my feelings about what I've been doing, and instead I've got to actually just say it in one sentence. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's hard sometimes as artists.
Yeah, my brain's been like, get better, get better, get better, get better, get better. And I haven't been like, for what? Because specialization is a thing. And I have specialized in characters, but I need to have a goal so I can actually work towards it.
So if you would have to answer that today, what would that be?
If I had to, without sitting down, really diving into it, if I had to, I would say an illustrator for like a game company, or someone who sells individual pieces or sells things on the internet that are pieces that I've drawn. A concept artist, character artist, that type of stuff. That's kind of where I want to be. I want to be making pieces that excite people.
Do you include yourself in those people lists?
Oh, to get excited?
Yeah, I mean, right now you could start a piece and you could like that. Less likely if you're told, okay, well, these are the variables of this person. This is exactly, these are the color tones
Right.
we want. This is what they're wearing. This is the environment. Draw that. Less exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, you get a job doing that, but
Well, I mean, there's also like I have to consider the alternative, which is not like I would love to be able to. So, perfect dream, right? I would love for my job to, or for my source of income, is for me to create pieces, sell them. Then that's how I make money. Like to make the pieces that I want to make and sell them. That's perfect for me. That's what I want.
okay. When are you going to do it?
That's a very good question. I guess that would require me to start making pieces.
All right. You have your goal this week.
I've got
That's a big goal.
Yeah, it is. That is a big
That's a
goal
scary
indeed.
goal, too.
Yeah. I'm going to try to do an illustration of a Gorgon next. Like that's what I'm going to be working on.
All right. I'm really excited to see that. And my hope is that whatever you decide to do with it, that you are excited about it when you do it. Like whatever you sketch up, you're like, yeah, I want to see this. Because I think if you can achieve that aspect, then regardless, it may be a product.
Mm-hmm. I'm already thinking about like horizon lines and perspective.
Nice. You know what I thought of the other day, which is why I've had Gorgons on my mind,
Mm-hmm.
is I wanted to envision the male Gorgon, and he had like these like slicked back snake hair, but you didn't really know, and he had this like snake beard, it was like, but it was very like brooding and calm and like kind of like I don't know, some kind of mafia boss or something,
That's
all
fun.
dressed in, but he was like Gorg man, whatever you call that.
Gorgon. I was
That
calling him Gorgon
yeah.
too.
So well, all I could think of is the female version. It's always been, but this guy version is like, hair is all cool and I don't know. Anyway, if that tickles anything you have, maybe you could
Not
think
go in that
about.
direction.
No, okay.
It's not a
Well,
me thing.
I was like, man, that guy all dressed up in like a suit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Snakes are all calculated. Anyway,
That's fun.
yeah, cool though. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that piece. Hope that you,
Yeah.
and I know 1 week might be a little too early, so don't think that there's pressure on that, But have fun.
My hard goal this week is to make a thumbnail, find a thumbnail I'm excited about. That's my hard goal this week.
Nice, that's good. My hard goal is to take the thought of doing something alone and actually just do it, and see if I can produce anything that feels even close to when we actually are working together on Tuesdays.
Which will be tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Or tonight if you're listening.
Well, right. So,
Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, join us. Get some stuff done.
It's crazy how much more stuff we get done.
Yeah. Would love to have someone to chat with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't don't think that you'd be bugging us at all. You
Yeah.
know,
Or if you
we'll
just want to
probably be
hang
very
out,
interested in hearing
lurk,
about your
and
projects.
yeah, we would be. But yeah, that's yeah. I think the big question was, so what are you doing with it, or like, what's your plan with it? Like that completely tore down all of these, like, it tore down everything, and I appreciate that because fuck, it's a lot.
Yeah, sometimes the simplest questions are the ones that we haven't asked, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And then, there's all the justifications in your mind. Well,
yeah.
but that's not what they asked. So you can't even really talk about that. You just got
Nope.
to answer the question. And it's
You have
like,
to answer the
oh,
question, and it's like, wow, it's a lot. All right,
well,
you
it's
want to call it?
exciting. Well, I mean, I have seen you progress as an artist, and you know, you have judged yourself very hard, and there is that time when you just go, hey, draw something up as long as you like it, as long as
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it wouldn't be such a push to do something alone if you're actually doing something you wanted to do,
Yeah.
instead of just picking something to learn. Well, take what you've learned and don't judge it, and just try to do the best you can on a piece. And there it is. Boom. It's not like the artists out there who are like, producing the same kind of things you want. It's not like their first piece. Would they have even kept their first piece that they sold? Like if it was
Probably not.
today, would they be like, I'm selling this one? Or would they have taken that back out of the pile? So at some point you just got to jump in and go, you know what? I've spent time conveying a reality into the form of a picture. This is what I am right now. Who would buy it? Would someone buy it? Maybe the price at this point matters. Maybe later on it won't as much. So I'm excited for you to do that. And I think it's just the decision of sitting down and going, okay, I'm going to do it. And who cares about, I did something similar to that a few weeks ago. I decided, you know what, I'm just going to write my kid's book,
Mm-hmm.
and I sat down, and I haven't looked at it since. So, I mean, maybe I would change it right now. But when I actually sat down and did it, you know, there's all these preconceived notions in my mind of like, what does it have to sound like to be a certain kind of this? How long does it have to be? And then, how many words? All these professional thoughts came into mind, which couldn't be likened to, oh, is my sketching perfect? Is my line perfect? Is my, all those things could be very similar. And I said nothing about it. I just sat down and wrote it in whatever skill level I am right now, in whatever, with no, I broke probably every rule. And it was probably more of like a book that only an adult could probably even read. But I had no fear, and I sat down and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And this is going to mean something to me when I'm done. Maybe you need that.
Yeah. I need to push forward. It's time. Like, I feel
And
like
maybe
I'm
it's
at a
time for
place.
you too, who's listening.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at you,
Join
listener,
us on Tuesday.
where we practice and get better and work on stuff. Do you want to say anything before we wrap it up here?
I think we've wrapped it up pretty good. This is the year that we both want to move forward and get some real products done.
Mm-hmm.
And no better time to start than now.
Yeah. Got to be productive. All right. Well, thank you for watching. This has been Productivity and Procrastination, and you have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Later.